covering news where you live. This is 5 News at 10.
Tonight on your 5 News at 10, local exterminators say bats seem to be causing a problem for homeowners this summer. We have a live report coming up on how these creatures could pose a hazardous risk to your health.
And hundreds gather in Branson today to honor the lives lost in last week's deadly duck boat crash. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Brian Shaver.
And I'm Joe Ellison. The Arkansas teenager who survived last week's duck boat crash in Branson, along with her mother, are sharing their story for the first time tonight.
Yeah, her father and brother Steve and Lance Smith were among those who died in the tragic accident. 14-year-old Lauren Smith survived. Today, she and her mom Pam, who was not aboard the boat, spoke exclusively with CBS News about their loss and the final words they ever said to both Steve and Lance.
There was some evil clouds. The wind started picking up. I saw a tree fall down in the background. I told my brother, he didn't notice it. I was freaking out. The boat started leaning towards the right. And my mom called right before it happened.
So I called, I believe it was like 7, shortly after 7, and just to check on them. Well, the weather wasn't bad when we left, but it's gotten bad. The waves were giant waves, and he says, "It's not good, Pam." And I told him I loved him. He told me he loved me. And I asked him to take care of the kids. That was our last words.
Lauren managed to escape the duck boat with a concussion, and she was released from the hospital yesterday. The accident happened as winds approached hurricane strength. Meanwhile, a person familiar with the NTSB investigation of the accident is revealing tonight that none of the 17 victims killed in the accident were wearing life jackets. Survivor Tia Coleman told reporters during a press conference yesterday they were told life jackets were on board, but they said the captain said they wouldn't need them. Investigators also revealing tonight that they retrieved the black box from the amphibious tour boat this weekend. The recording device was sent to a lab in Washington, D.C. for analysis. The NTSB is hoping video from inside that box will help reveal what the captain knew about the weather forecast and when he knew about it. The Missouri Attorney General also revealing this weekend a separate state investigation is underway to see if there was any criminal negligence, but so far no charges have been filed.
The Branson community gathered today for a memorial ceremony honoring the victims of that tragedy.
Savior God to thee, how great thou art.
The service was held at the Williams Memorial Chapel on the College of the Ozarks campus, and it was open to family and friends of victims as well as community members wanting to show their support. Branson city leaders who spoke at today's service shared messages of encouragement to those in attendance.
Today, we honor you. We honor the 17 lives that were lost. We honor the 14 survivors. And we honor the many heroes who did everything in their power to save lives.
9 of the people who died were part of one Indiana family. Online fundraisers has raised more than $400,000 for their funeral expenses.
Turning now to your forecast, cooling down this evening after a hot and humid day out there.
A little bit. Let's check in with Matt in the Weather Center for a first look at your forecast. Hey, Matt.
Hey, good evening, guys. We'd have a few sprinkles here and there with some of the thicker clouds as they pass from the northwest towards the southeast. Right now, we're mainly dry, except we are watching a few sprinkles just in parts of eastern Washington County, Madison County, and then stretching into Franklin and also Johnson counties. Otherwise, not much. Should be a mainly okay evening. Temperatures have already cooled down quite a bit. A lot of us are in the 70s right now in northwest Arkansas. Doesn't feel too bad out there with only just a little bit of humidity. Live look in Bacola. This is overlooking the greater Fort Smith area. Clouds still in the forecast, but those are leaving our neck of the woods. So expect more sunshine coming up, at least as soon as tomorrow morning. I think we'll have a lot more sunshine as you're waking up with meteorologist Joe Pennington as he gets you out the door. Temperatures, though, right now, 70s for a lot of folks, still holding on to a few low 80s in parts of the River Valley. Otherwise, this north wind, hasn't it been nice? Wasn't it nice today? This north wind will kick into gear a little bit more even tomorrow and then stick around for the next couple days. So we'll talk about how long this relief will last and maybe the next chance for a shower storm. That's all coming up.
All right. Thank you, Matt. Well, a 3-vehicle accident backed up traffic for a couple of miles on Interstate 40 in Crawford County this evening. It happened around 6:30 in the eastbound lanes between Van Buren and Alma. Investigators say a vehicle was receiving roadside assistance for a flat tire when another car rear-ended the tow truck. Everyone involved in the crash was taken to Mercy Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, and the highway was back open by shortly after 7 o'clock. Well, the family Christmas tree may not be the only thing you're storing in your attic right now. This time of year, bats are looking for a place to roost.
Yeah, and 5 News reporter Megan Johnson is live in Huntsville and tells us how to get rid of these pests before they start to cause problems. Megan.
Brian, Joe, we are in Huntsville tonight where bats are infesting attics in the area. During the summer months of June through August, bats are searching for a safe place to roost.
And some of them will live in the attic of a building temporarily, pretty much during the summer months. They'll stay in the attic during the day and then go out at night to fly around, and then when winter comes, they'll head to the caves.
When inside, these pests can not only be a nuisance, but also a hazard to your health.
Their feces is very, very dangerous, very bad respiratory hazard to worry about.
To keep these critters out of your home, seal any openings, big or small. Bats can squeeze into openings as small as a 1/4 of an inch.
Same spots where bats can get in, mice, squirrels, and other stuff can make access to the home.
But bats living outside your home can be beneficial.
The reason why we like bats, why bats are a good thing, is that they eat mosquitoes. They're voracious eaters of mosquitoes.
Now, if bats nested in your attic last year or anywhere in your home and you remove them, it doesn't mean that they're gone. Year after year, bats usually go back to their nesting spots. So if you're seeing dark circles on your ceilings or hearing scratching in your walls, it's best to call pest control. Live in Huntsville, covering news where you live, Megan Johnson, 5 News.
All right, thank you, Megan. One thing you do want to keep in mind, bats are a protected species. It's important to call in an expert to safely remove them from your home. Harming a bat could result in a fine or even jail time. Breaking news right now out of Canada. This is a live look at Toronto, where police confirm a gunman has shot multiple people. Few details are known at this time, but a police spokesman said it occurred just after 10 p.m. local time. A witness said the shooting spree took place across several blocks. No word yet if anyone was killed or a suspect is in custody. We'll have more details, of course, on this shooting tomorrow on 5 News this morning. Around the nation tonight, police are investigating a deadly shooting that happened at a Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints in Fallon, Nevada. Officials say the 48-year-old suspect is in custody. One person was killed in the attack and another has non-life-threatening injuries. Police say about 50 people were inside the church when the gunman opened fire. Investigators say that alleged gunman was a member of the church, but they're not revealing a motive at this time. A California man faces several criminal charges after a crime spree that ended in a deadly standoff inside a busy Los Angeles grocery store. Police say 28-year-old Gene Atkins shot his grandmother 7 times during a dispute at her home. Another woman suffered injuries after Atkins forced her into his grandmother's car. A shootout ensued after Atkins crashed the car in the Trader Joe's parking lot, killing the store manager. Atkins then ran inside where he held people hostage for nearly 4 hours.
The longer this went on, the worse it was going to get for sure, because he was bleeding and he was getting increasingly agitated.
Some hostages escaped, and Atkins freed a few others before handcuffing himself and surrendering to police. He's being held on a $2 million bail. In Oklahoma, an investigation is underway into a deadly officer-involved shooting. It happened in Bixby, where the OSBI says a juvenile suspect died following a shooting early this morning. The shooting happened after police say the suspect was spotted in a stolen vehicle. Police say an officer shot and killed the boy when he began driving the car at the officer. The suspect was taken into a local hospital where he later died. The OSBI is handling the investigation. A teen couple has been arrested after police say they plotted to kill her parents.
Police outside of Oklahoma City say the teens planned the attack after her parents refused to allow her to be emancipated. Police say 18-year-old Zachary Sliger and a 15-year-old girl came up with the plan to kill her mother, father, and older sister. The teens packed bags, and investigators believe they plan to leave the area after murdering the family. Investigators say Sliger brought a handgun to the teens' home while her parents were sleeping.
Zach goes in the bedroom. He fires the gun one time at Dad and misses, shoots a hole in his pillow. Immediately turns the gun on Mom, shoots her one time in the face.
Police say the 15-year-old girl told Sliger to go home so she could come up with a story. Both were arrested and the gun was found at the teen girl's home. The 15-year-old faces juvenile charges, but Sliger faces 3 counts of conspiracy to commit murder along with many other charges. Around Arkansas, West Memphis community members say they're fed up with violence in their city, so they held a rally this weekend. Streets Sense, a group aimed at keeping kids out of gangs and violence, gathered in hopes of reaching those kids and city leaders with their message. Sequila Creighton, an activist with the organization, lost her husband, a police officer, by stray bullets that entered their home. He was playing video games with their daughter at the time. She says the tragedy gave her a push to help others and join that movement.
A lot of the gang members are recruiting young children, and that's what's causing a lot of the violence in the community. So if we can reach the gang members and the younger children, we probably can help stop it.
Even in scorching temperatures, community leaders and former gang members joined the group to show their support during that rally. The group was founded by Jerry Johnson, a man who had been to prison 14 times and has now turned his life around. Well, there was a bomb scare today in Pine Bluff. Police were called this afternoon to inspect a suspicious device found at a now closed drug rehabilitation clinic. According to investigators, the property owner found what appeared to be a bomb in the doorway. Military personnel were called and determined the torpedo-like device was safe. A second person who uses the building is reportedly storing it there until it can be placed in a museum exhibit.
Still ahead on your 5 News at 10, President Trump lashing out at the FBI after newly released documents link a top campaign aide to the Russian government. How the president is responding when we return.
And did you enjoy the cooler weather we had today? Well, it looks like it might linger for the next couple of days. We'll talk about that in your full forecast next.
You're watching 5 News, where more people get their news at 10.